Basi sasa tutengeneze mkono, tumualike naibu wa rais, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto. 1, 2, 3. Karibu ya Excellency. Thank you.
Asante sana Governor. Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri yetu ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, mama wetu wa taifa, Mama Margaret Kenyatta, speakers wetu wa bunge, Mheshimiwa Muturi na Mheshimiwa Lusaka, Mheshimiwa former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Mheshimiwa former Vice President Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, waheshimiwa cabinet secretaries walio hapa siku ya leo, waheshimiwa wabunge, waheshimiwa MCAs, governors wetu walio hapa, ndugu wananchi wa Narok, hamjambo. Narok, hamjambo. Enda subabogi meisi sio laitoriani moriega chamge. Mheshimiwa Rais, kati yetu hapa ni viongozi wengi wa kutoka sehemu mbalimbali na wananchi wengi wao wa kaunti hii, na sote tumefika hapa kuungana na wewe katika sherehe hii ya muhimu ya miaka 56 tangu tupate uhuru wa taifa letu. Mheshimiwa Rais, niungane na wale waliosema mbele yangu kukushukuru na kukupongeza kwa kuamua ya kwamba sherehe hizi ya madaraka haitafanywa tena Nairobi, itafanywa katika kaunti zetu za taifa la Kenya. Na leo ni bahati ya Narok kufanya sherehe hiyo. Mheshimiwa Rais, ni njia moja ya kuunganisha taifa letu la Kenya. Tumeungana hapa leo na yale mambo serikali yako imefanya katika taifa letu la Kenya, ya barabara, ya stima, ya maji, ya kusomesha watoto wetu. Pia Narok hii wako na sehemu yao, vile governor amesema, kikamilifu. Na sababu hiyo, Mheshimiwa Rais, ndio watu wa Narok hii umeona wamejitokeza kwa maelfu kufika hapa leo, kwa sababu wanatambua uongozi wako na kazi ambayo serikali unayoiongoza imefanya katika kaunti hii. Mheshimiwa Rais, sio siku yangu ya kuongea leo. Tuko na viongozi wengi. Ningependa tu kuuliza wananchi wa Narok kwa heshima kubwa, sasa nichukue nafasi hii nimkaribishe kiongozi wetu wa taifa, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, aweze kuongoza sherehe hii ya 56 ya madaraka ya taifa letu la Kenya. Mheshimiwa Rais.
Asanteni sana, nashukuru. Tuketi. Narok hamjambo. Narok hamjambo. Asanteni sana kwa ukaribisho wenu mwema. Asanteni sana. Mtaniruhusu kwa sababu leo ni siku ya kitaifa, pia niweze kusoma yale ambaye niko naye kwa lugha ya Kiingereza kidogo, alafu baadaye tutasema machache. Sawa? My fellow Kenyans, on the first day of June every year, we come together to commemorate Madaraka Day, a day set aside in our national calendar to reflect on and celebrate our realization of self-rule after a long struggle against colonialism. Some of those who struggled for our liberty are here with us today, and we salute you and all those who fought for our liberation, who gave something of themselves. Some gave all, even their lives. We honor and thank them for their sacrifice and for the immense hope that fired them on, and for their refusal to ever give tyranny a permanent foothold in our country. Fellow Kenyans, my administration made the solemn decision to rotate the hosting of national celebrations in order to strengthen our nationhood. So far, Nakuru, Nyeri, Machakos, Meru, Kakamega have hosted our national celebrations. And today is the opportunity for Narok County. And once again, I thank the great people of Narok for your warm and thunderous reception today. Fellow Kenyans, you will recall that once our head of state was a queen in a foreign land, and the head of government was a direct appointee of the queen. They were both answerable to none of us. But today, I answer to you and to the Constitution that you chose freely. Once the right to vote was determined by the color of one's skin in colonial Kenya, today, every Kenyan vote and voice determines how this nation is governed. This was not realized on a silver platter. It took blood, sweat, courage from so many who sacrificed so much. Our forefathers are watching us today. They are watching us to ascertain whether we are building upon or squandering the liberty and the dream of a secure and prosperous nation. They are watching us to know if we have done enough to hold our head high among the community of nations, whether poverty, disease, ignorance, and insecurity have been banished from our midst, and that there is plenty within our borders. They would want to know whether our children are being brought up with strong moral grounding, and that they are receiving an education that prepares them to keep building Kenya into one of the greatest nations on earth. What would our answer to them be? We have indeed come far as a nation since the crown caved in to our clamor for self-determination. We have achieved a lot, but it has also been a tough journey. Today, Kenya is a country of consequence. We anchor the fragile peace and security in our region. We are a generous country that works hard to build peace among our neighbors. Our economy is the largest and most diverse in the region, reflecting the hard work, strength of character, and innovative spirit of our people. Our emerging technology companies attract more investment than any other country on the African continent, evidence that the world recognizes the skills and ingenuity of our youth. Kenyans in the diaspora, our greatest export, continue to shatter barriers, joining ranks of corporate executives in world capitals. Our athletes are amongst the greatest in the world. Our actors and filmmakers are taking the global stage by storm as the digital revolution continues to transform the way the world consumes entertainment. We are exhibiting greatness, thus reflecting our talent, ambition, and willingness to compete with the best. We have hosted millions of people who travel many miles to come and visit our parks, such as the Great Masai Mara, to make new friends, reflecting our careful tending of our environment. And we have also made our name as a destination of choice for international conferences and business tourism. We are indeed taking better care of the liberty our forefathers handed to us. And indeed, we can all be immensely proud that we are a country of laws whose constitution has brought the government closer to the people through devolution. Our government is accountable to the people, it listens to them, and it is subjected to their will, and it is getting better every day at delivering services and making life better for all citizens. Fellow Kenyans, we are making remarkable progress in building a diverse and vibrant economy. We are growing beyond traditional strongholds such as agriculture, tourism, logistics, construction, manufacturing, into technology, financial services, horticulture, and floriculture, amongst others. We are embarking on building a vibrant maritime and blue economy that will elevate and transform our food security and create new employment opportunities for our people while expanding our economy. I can report that last year, our national cake expanded by 6.3%, one of the highest growth rates in the world, and in consequence, over 800,000 new jobs were created, especially in the informal sector. This is the outcome of the strong reform agenda that my administration has embraced over the last 6 years to boost investment and to create jobs. We are indeed one of the global leaders in adapting international best practice in business, regulation, property registration, and protection of investment. As a result, foreign direct investment increased from Kenya shillings 35 billion in 2013 to Kenya shillings 200 billion in 2017. There will be even more investment and jobs when we commission the Naivasha Industrial Park, located at the border between Narok and Nakuru counties, and the special economic zones in Kisumu, Mombasa's Dongo Kundu, and Lamu, amongst others. We, however, have much further to go. Too many Kenyans are still struggling to make ends meet, and there are not enough decent jobs for the many ambitious and learned youth graduating from our learning institutions every year. I do know and appreciate so many of you are under tremendous pressure. The desperate phone calls and text messages that come in from near and far, distant friends and family appealing for help. But we Kenyans live with an open heart, and so we respond with kind words, with prayers, and with stretched wallets and purses. We get angry as we struggle and then read in the newspapers stories about the next general election days after the previous one, or corruption and abuse of office, knowing that money stolen comes from our taxes, we can at times feel like despairing when the good news of our country's progress comes a distant third to bad news and never-ending politicking and name-calling. Fellow Kenyans, we are on a consistent march forward, and Kenya is transforming into a nation that our forefathers prayed and fought for. Periods of great change are not easy. They are like a birth. There is pain and struggle that gets stronger just before a new child is born, with all the human possibilities available to it, and we are in one such moment. I remain confident that working hard for what we know to be right, and with all our leaders across the political spectrum and across society pushing in the same direction, we shall get there. We must get there, and plenty will indeed be found within our borders. Fellow Kenyans, belief in a better tomorrow and hope in the face of adversity can be hard to maintain, especially when we have evolved a form of public conversation that focuses almost exclusively on that which is negative. Even as many great and visible developments happen amongst us, we mostly hear of and discuss about what is going wrong. I do not believe that we should ever sweep bad news or inconvenient truths under the carpet, or for that matter, ignore wrongdoing. But I want to urge every Kenyan, and particularly those in the media and in leadership positions, to also shine a light on what is good, even as they identify what is holding us back. To take time to cultivate a sense of national pride by giving equal prominence to the myriad of positive and uplifting stories that showcase how great a people we are. We need to lift up each other's hopes so that we can have the strength as individuals and as a nation to successfully navigate this process of transformation. Fellow Kenyans, we must continue to work hard to produce value and be competitive. We are, after all, in a world where billions of people and almost 200 countries are competing for wealth and opportunity. Creating value through hard work and innovation is the only way we can end up with the many growing enterprises all over the country that will be engines for employment creation and decent incomes that we desire for our children. Fellow Kenyans, we must also continue to do much more as a government for Kenyans by helping them to attain solutions that are not too costly or inaccessible to the majority. When I conceptualized the Big Four, I had in mind those Kenyans who struggle every day to avail basic necessities to their families, and I could see that most families were one major illness away from poverty. Diverting every penny from one's earnings to pay for medical care was forcing families into poverty. And that is why we are working towards the realization of universal health coverage. To ease the exorbitant costs that our people incur in the treatment of cancer-related ailments, I am pleased to announce that the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund has availed Kenya shillings 1 billion in support of 3 cancer treatment facilities across the Republic, for this is the kind of madaraka that we seek. Fellow Kenyans, in the run-up to the last general election, I traversed the entire country seeking a fresh mandate. In many interactions with Kenyans of all walks of life, I did see the many frustrated young graduates who had done everything asked of them and now expected the economy to produce jobs for them. I know that even as we work hard to expand the economy, their education has to be improved and to help them become more competitive and fit for purpose, and better still, even be able to start their own enterprises. To realize this, we delivered honest exams and we unveiled a competency-based curriculum which will prepare the coming generation of students to become globally competitive. The world has taken note, and investors are already noticing our unique abilities and know-how. Our growing diaspora remittances are the greatest testimony to the enormous potential of our people. As I mentioned earlier, Kenya's technology sector attracts more investment than any other country in Africa, including countries whose economies and populations are much bigger than ours. Delivering education that uplifts the skills of the youth is why we have strived for 100% transition from primary to secondary education. The Big Four agenda also includes reinvigorating our manufacturing sector. Jobs will come when a more competitive education is combined with a stronger manufacturing sector and growing trade and investment. To do that, we are providing incentives, seeking investors at home and abroad, and cutting red tape and bureaucracy to enable business to thrive. Fellow Kenyans, as we continue to experience the dividends of our growing population, affordability of decent homes has over the years eluded most of our citizens. As a result, our nation continues to face a huge housing deficit, particularly for the lower income households. In keeping with the vision of our forefathers, and in response to calls for the restoration of dignity and the pride inherent in one owning a decent home, we adopted the housing pillar as a key element of the Big Four agenda. This program will not only restore the dignity of our people, but will also spur and stimulate the economy through jobs, supply of goods and services, and other income-generating activities attendant to the construction of homes for our citizens. We have established and are working closely with TVET institutions to ensure that we are able to train and certify workers in readiness for these forthcoming opportunities, coupled with a guarantee that at least 70% of all construction materials will be supplied by our local micro, small, and medium enterprises. I call upon our micro, small, and medium enterprises, together with our Juakali associations, to come together and ensure that they take advantage of the opportunities presented by this. The affordable housing program is steadily moving towards full realization, and I believe will benefit millions of Kenyans. In the coming weeks and months, I will be commissioning various projects under this seminal program, and one such project is being implemented by the United Nations Office of Project Services, UNOPS, and it is expected to deliver 100,000 homes across the country. The delivery of this singular project of 100,000 housing units represents a major economic transformation and the single largest housing project in our nation's history. In addition, over 12,000 acres of national government and county government, as well as private land, has been made available for the accelerated phase of construction that will also bring on board local and international investors. Affordable and decent homes for all Kenyans will be a reality. To bring this closer to reality, slightly more than a week ago, we inaugurated the region's first ever mortgage refinance company, the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company. This entity, which is a public-private partnership between the government and private sector, is mandated with providing long-term, large-scale funding to banks and SACCOs, which will in turn be availed by those institutions to home buyers at fixed and affordable interest rates. By this singular act, we expect to more than double the number of mortgage facilities from the current 26,000 to 60,000 by Madaraka Day, year 2022. Fellow Kenyans, the Housing Fund is the second entity through which the delivery of affordable housing programs shall be supported. The creation of the fund was informed by the need to bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots by creating a framework through which the traditionally unbanked can access financing towards home ownership. Unfortunately, the implementation of the Housing Fund levy as a mandatory contribution for both employees and employers has at every turn been fraught with legal hurdles and obstacles. It is my hope that these hurdles will be overcome without further undue delay to ensure implementation. This will allow all Kenyans who wish to take advantage of this life-changing initiative to realize their dream of owning a modern, decent home in a rent-to-own purchase arrangement. Already, as we speak, over 216,000 Kenyans have demonstrated their confidence in the affordable housing program by registering with the Boma Yangu initiative. Fellow Kenyans, we have the opportunity to change the lives of our people, channel the course of our urbanization into sustainability, and rewrite our history for our benefit as well as for future generations. I believe we must seize the moment and live true to the mantra, Boma Yangu, Hadi Yangu, my home, my dignity. As your president, I look forward to handing over no less than 500,000 house keys to first-time homeowners between now and Madaraka Day 2022. Fellow Kenyans, this is a huge step towards the realization of plenty within our borders. We recognize that we still have a sizable number of Kenyans who struggle to put food on their table. As part of our Big Four agenda, we are working to make decent and healthy meals accessible and affordable for all Kenyans. And our path to food security is anchored on ensuring significant improvement in farm productivity by enhancing the quality of farm inputs. Over the last 3 months, we have indeed received depressed rainfall in some parts of the country, and as a result, there is likely to be a decreased farm produce and pasture, leading perhaps to a shortage of essential food commodities. My government has responded by implementing an elaborate drought mitigation plan that will guarantee continuity of supply and availability of affordable food commodities for all households. In this regard, we shall purchase livestock in drought-stricken counties and release maize stocks held in strategic food reserve into the market at an affordable price. At this stage, I urge and also warn our private sector to be responsible corporate citizens and not to abuse market dominance to create artificial shortages and cause unwarranted increase in food prices. Going forward, we shall continue to monitor the food supply situation and ensure that adequate stocks are available to meet local demand. Government will also support those who may need food relief, and we emphatically guarantee that no Kenyan will die of hunger. Fellow Kenyans, the journey of self-rule has not been without struggle in our individual and collective lives. The good news is that we are getting there. We are in a country that is changing quickly, and impressive progress is being made every day. We can be proud that in the short period since we passed our Constitution in 2010, we have completed the quickest, most extensive, and consequential transformation of any state in Africa and the world. We successfully made our bicameral parliament operational within 3 years. 2 trillion Kenya shillings will have been transferred to county governments by the financial year beginning in July 2019. But the money transferred matters far less than the services it has rendered and the transformation witnessed. We count not just the shillings, but the mothers and children saved. Infant mortality has fallen since 2013. Hospitals at the grassroots are better equipped and able to perform complex medical procedures for the first time in their history. And Kenya's grassroots have roared into life with towns like Narok, with markets and towns and municipalities bustling with economic activity. County-initiated enterprise in value addition is opening new frontiers for employment and economic inclusion. This is the true measure of the untapped plenty within our borders. My administration is committed to fully implement and strengthen devolution and shall remain steadfast to this call. Fellow Kenyans, I did earlier inform on the progress we have made in mobilizing investments to grow our economy and create jobs. In doing this, we have paid particular attention to small business because we know they are the ones that create most of the jobs our people enjoy, and they are the main source of their livelihood. Micro, small, and medium enterprises will now enjoy a new revolutionary credit financing scheme referred to as STAWI, designed to offer access to loans at a single-digit interest rate per annum. This strategy is part of unlocking our plenty within our borders. Additionally, we have reduced the number of days it takes to register a property from over 3 months to just 12 days. We have also simplified the way small business operate construction permits by waiving the requirement for an environmental impact assessment, and the granting of approval by NEMA has been reduced to 5 days for low-risk projects. To enhance inclusion and the economic empowerment of youth, women, and persons living with disabilities, my administration continues to support their enterprises and transform livelihoods through the UWEZO Women and Youth Enterprise Funds. And so far, we have distributed over Kenya shillings 285 billion with a reach of over 5 million households. This action is transforming this segment of our society from job seekers to job creators, creating hope for the plenty within our borders. To foster the effectiveness of this intervention, we are merging the 3 funds to create the Biashara Kenya Fund as a one-stop shop for affirmative action groups seeking affordable and accessible business loans. Small businesses will also continue to gain from the Access to Government Procurement AGPO program. 30% of all government procurement is reserved for youth, women, and persons living with disabilities. Over 100,000 such firms have been registered to date under the program, and contracts worth Kenya shillings 88 billion have been awarded since we began the program in 2013. Fellow Kenyans, to support and deepen this positive growth, I now wish to make 2 policy directives which will provide tangible opportunities and benefits to our people. The first concerns national government payments. As you are aware, the government is the largest consumer of goods and services in our economy. Many small businesses are built to service this demand. Unfortunately, pending payments have negatively affected many businesses, particularly those whose bulk of capital is now locked in non-payment. This has also reduced overall spending and business activity in our economy. To alleviate this situation, I hereby direct that all accounting officers pay and settle all pending bills that do not have audit queries on or before the end of the current financial year, 30th June 2019. Further, I direct that the National Treasury, to secure full compliance of this directive, and at the same time, I also call upon our county governments to follow suit. Going forward and in line with our policy to promote the local industry and enterprise by Kenya Build Kenya, I direct that all payments for supplies made to national and county governments be processed and made promptly and on a priority basis. The second policy directive regards the importation of goods by small and medium traders. In my working tours over the last week, I have received consistent feedback from wananchi and the business community that the Kenya Bureau of Standards has, despite its good intentions and in lawful discharge of its mandate, overly constrained the importation of goods by small and medium enterprises. It is true that KEB's inspection exercises have been leading to delays in the release of imports. Accordingly, and to strike a better balance between enhancing the ease of doing business in Kenya on the one hand and protection of the public from harmful imports, I hereby direct the Kenya Ports Authority, the Kenya Revenue Authority, and the Kenya Bureau of Standards to honor the pre-shipment inspection done by its appointed agents. Imported goods, therefore, should not be subject to additional inspection at the port of entry, except for cases legitimately suspected not to conform to the set standards. We shall also initiate business tax reforms in the coming finance bill and also restructure port logistic operations. And all efforts will be made to guarantee the predictability of business operations. Fellow Kenyans, we can take pride in modernizing our infrastructure, connecting more households with electricity, and look forward to the benefits that continue to accrue to our people. The Madaraka Express will soon roar into Mai Mahiu in the coming months, marking the completion of Phase 2A of the Standard Gauge Railway project. It will inject new economic vigor and activity into this area, which will also play host to Kenya's premier special economic zone and industrial park. Furthermore, for the first time in Kenya's history, modern highways are under construction to link Garissa to Modogash, Garsen to Lamu, Kibwezi to Kitui, and Miguani. Numerous other projects of the same nature, including the upgrade of roads infrastructure that we have seen here in Narok County today, such as the 82-kilometer Narok-Sekenani Road, the gateway to the world-famous Mara, now 72% complete, and the Mount Narok-Kisiriri Road are tangible examples of the progress we are making in the path towards transformation. In Narok County alone, we are implementing public infrastructure projects worth over 10 billion shillings. These positive transformations in this country and across the entire republic are visible examples of that expansion of plenty within our borders. We continue to power freedom by connecting households, schools, towns, market centers, previously deemed undeserving the dignity of electricity connection. In pursuit of this national endeavor, we have achieved a connectivity rate of 74% of all Kenyan households, from a low of 27% in 2013. We shall continue to enhance efforts to achieve universal access to electricity by 2022. Fellow Kenyans, information, communication, and technology is the greatest catalyst in our quest to become Africa's technology hub. Every day, I am inspired by reports of new applications and software developed to support farmers, schools, market access for produce. Online shopping today is as prolific as it is diverse. These applications are often as simple as they are life-changing, spurring local economic and social development, and indeed, quality jobs for our youth to heights previously unknown. The recently launched Digital Economy Blueprint provides the framework for the expansion of this potential and the realization of a sustainable digital economy in Kenya in line with our aspirations. And I look forward for all of us living this dream. Fellow Kenyans, we celebrate improvements also in provision of public services. The iTax system and the e-citizen platform are globally acclaimed as the two of the most innovative public service delivery channels. On the other hand, the 52 Huduma centers currently in operation continue to serve close to 50,000 customers every day. And to date, more than 24 million Kenyans have been served. I thank the county governments for heeding my call to introduce business permits and other county government services in Huduma centers, and we continue to harness more services. The ease with which wananchi access government and other vital services has been revolutionized by this innovation. The Huduma number builds upon this successful concept. It will allow us to continue improving planning and service provision while allowing your taxes to work better for you. And I take this opportunity today to applaud the 37.7 million Kenyans who have registered. Fellow Kenyans, we aspire to the call by distinguished Nobel laureate, the late Professor Wangari Maathai, to ensure that plenty is sustainably found within our borders in line with her vision. My administration has rolled out the Greening Kenya initiative that will see our tree cover rise to 10% by the year 2022. I challenge at this moment all Kenyans to plant a tree in their neighborhood and help transform our environment one tree at a time. Fellow Kenyans, sports remains the foremost ambassador of the Kenya brand and the greatest source of national pride. In recognition of its place, my administration is keeping its word and has concretized support to our sportsmen and women in various disciplines through the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund. We have, for example, only yesterday, distributed Kenya shillings 181 million to 3,338 athletes who obtained gold, silver, and bronze medals during the period 2010 to 2019. This in appreciation of their stellar accomplishments in the name of this great country. Kenya's participation at the African Confederation Cup 2019 is for the first time fully secured through a Kenya shillings 224 million disbursement to Harambee Stars through the Football Kenya Federation. And indeed, the glory days of the World Championship Safari Rally are set to return as we expect to host this main event once again in the year 2020. Fellow Kenyans, we are a government that cares for all its citizens. In this context, and to restore the dignity of our senior citizens, we continue to support them under the Inua Jamii program. In the 6 short years, the program has grown from 200,000 to 1.3 million beneficiaries, with funding rising from Kenya shillings 6.5 billion in 2013 to Kenya shillings 26 billion this financial year. Cumulatively, we have invested over Kenya shillings 125 billion in our Madaraka generation. Development of any nation, fellow Kenyans, is also wholly dependent on the wellness of its people. Indeed, I have noted with extreme sadness and profound concern the recent rise in reported cases of suicides and homicides in the country, particularly femicides. Indeed, as your president and also as a husband, father, and grandfather, it does pain me to see the distress and anguish in the faces of family members who are left behind by one who felt the life offered them no other option. Fellow Kenyans, depression has today become a common phenomenon, and it affects persons from all walks of life and ages. I urge employers and institutions of learning to invest more time and resources in monitoring and facilitating the mental well-being of their charges. And I therefore direct the Ministry of Health, in consultation with county governments, the Ministry of Education, Labor and Social Protection and Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs, to formulate an appropriate policy response. And to anyone, any Kenyan out there who is struggling with depression or feelings of hopelessness, I indeed do beseech you to reach out and talk. You are not alone. I am encouraging all Kenyans to be their brothers and sisters' keepers. Check on your family members and friends and be their safe harbor. A little caring in a world where we have become too busy for one another will go a long way. With regard to homicides, there can never be any admissible reason to take an innocent life. You not only end the life of the person you kill, but ruin your own life in the process as well. There can never be any cause or justification to take another life. The law will apply indiscriminately on anyone who takes the life of another. And once again, I urge all parents, our religious leaders, our teachers, our mentors, to stand with our young men and women. I urge you to take deliberate steps to work with them in reinvigorating the values of humanity, respect, dignity, and honor in their lives and in their engagement with others. Fellow Kenyans, what makes a nation is not its wealth, but its people's trust in each other. Corruption is greed. It steals our wealth and our trust alike. The war against corruption is a war we are undertaking with no joy, but one that will continue without relenting. I will not stop until this house we inherited from our forefathers has been swept clean. Then the plenty within our borders can be secured for current and future generations. We cannot praise wealth. We must praise the hard work that creates wealth. In the recent past, I have personally refrained from constant reference to our war on corruption. This is not a waning of determination on my part, but rather a clear indication of the confidence and trust that I have in our investigation and prosecution agencies, and my belief that we have resourced and equipped them with the capacity to tackle this war. Kenyans, however, are now demanding to see the end product of these investigations and prosecutions. The judiciary must therefore deliver justice, with cases being heard and determined expeditiously. Money must be recovered, culprits must vacate their positions, and people must serve jail terms for the process to come to full circle. We must, fellow Kenyans, return to that time when honesty and modesty were not traits of weakness, a time when greed and selfishness were abhorred vices, a time when the spirit of selflessness brought harmony and equity. Over time, corruption has threatened this spirit. We must, therefore, make a return to reason. Fellow Kenyans, as I have said before, we must be our brother's keeper. We must work together, united against all evils that demean our society. I am personally very proud of our diversity. Look around you today, in this stadium, in this great county. We are all men and women from every single corner of Kenya. Men and women who worship God in many different ways. Men and women who speak a variety of languages. And yet, all of us are gathered here as one united family to celebrate the country that we love. Our home, our nation, our beloved Kenya. Let me re-emphasize this point, that we should take pride in being a diverse country, a mosaic of 44 ethnicities, but a nation of one people that is always seeking to heal its divisions. We are not, fellow Kenyans, divided because we are Maasai, Pokomo, Luya, Kamba, not because we are Muslims and Christians. We are divided because these differences have been used in politics, especially to place imaginary wedges between us. We have also been divided by the politics of grievance and resent. We must be bold enough to reclaim the unity we enjoy, and we enjoyed at independence. And that is why myself and the former Prime Minister initiated the Building Bridges Initiative, the handshake. The initiative continues to cultivate harmony and inspire hope amongst Kenyans. It ushered in an era of calm and cooperation where Kenyans embraced each other more. Let us please continue along this same path, holding each other close and promising that we will never again be divided by politics along ethnic or religious lines. Let us undertake today to be the united and cohesive society that our fathers fought for. A society of men and women striving for excellence and who are ready to stand the test of time, reject corruption, and stick to the pathways of truth. This way, we will sustainably drive our country to lasting greatness. Wakenya wenzangu, nikimaliza, ningependa kila Mkenya akumbuke kwamba madaraka hatukupewa, tuliinyakua, na ni jukumu letu sisi wote kuilinda. Kinachotutenganisha sisi kama taifa hii leo, taifa tulipendayo, ni siasa za dhulma na ufisadi. Sio tofauti zetu za kijamii wala kidini. Wakenya wenzangu, mbinu za kukamilisha maridhiano ni tatu. Itabidi tukomeshe ufisadi, turekebishe siasa zetu, na tujitenganishe na yale yote yanayotugawanya kama Wakenya. Mimi nasema kwa wenzetu wa Narok, tumeshukuru sana ukaribisho wenu. Tumefurahia kabisa mipango ambaye tumeona na mumejitokeza kwa wingi, kumaanisha ya kwamba mlikuwa na hamu siku hii iwe hapa kwenu leo. Na vile tumesema, tutaendelea kuzunguka kila kona ya Kenya katika siku hizi zetu za kitaifa, kwa sababu haja yetu ni kuhakikisha umoja ya Wakenya wetu. Hakuna kona moja ya Kenya tunataka iwachwe nyuma. Unaona sasa stadium kama hii, kwa sababu ya sherehe hii, governor na wenzetu pia kule national government hawakuwa wakilala kuhakikisha ya kwamba stadium itakuwa tayari. Na hii stadium hatubebi, itabaki hapa hapa kusaidia wananchi wa Narok. Town imewekwa lami, daraja imejengwa, hata kama inasemekana tunabeba, lakini tumeongea hapa na jemedari mkuu wa majeshi na tumekubaliana ya kwamba hii daraja hatabeba. Lakini wacha nimalize, kwa sababu pia anahitaji hii daraja kwa shughuli zake za kijeshi. Tumekubaliana hii daraja itabaki hapa mpaka yeye mwenyewe na askari wake wawajengee daraja mpya, alafu sasa achukue yake arudi naye. Si ni sawa? Tumekubaliana hivyo? Tumekubaliana hivyo? Wenzetu, hii ni kodi yenu, na ndio tunasema Wakenya wako na haki ya kupata huduma ile wanatafuta, na ndio lazima sisi wote tuzingatie pesa zetu na tuhakikishe ya kwamba zinatumiwa kwa njia ambaye itaboresha maisha ya watu wetu. Sitaki mimi ninene zaidi ya hapo, isipokuwa mbele ya wimbo wa taifa kuna kasherehe kidogo tungependa kufanya, na ningetaka kwa wakati huu nimwalike Governor wa Benki Kuu ya Kenya aje hapa mbele. Sijui yako wapi, amepotea. Haya basi, Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde, na tutazidi kuonana Narok. Pongezi, heko, asanteni sana.
Katikati ya hizi hapa sababu tutatumia microphone, weka hii tutatoa hiyo.
Thank you. Thanks. Your Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Your Excellency First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, Your Excellency Deputy President William Ruto, and Your Excellency Madam Rachel Ruto, Speakers of the National Assembly and Senate, Majority Leader of the National Assembly, Honorable Raila Odinga, Honorable Kuntai, Governor, and our host here in Narok County, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Cabinet Secretaries, distinguished guests, fellow citizens. It gives me great pleasure to participate in this national celebration. I'm particularly grateful to Your Excellency, for the honor you have bestowed on the Central Bank of Kenya by graciously inviting me to say a few words at the end of this beautiful ceremony. It was a singular honor, Your Excellency, when you also visited the Central Bank last December and launched Kenya's new generation coins, which have wildlife images as the theme. It is therefore fitting that today we are in Narok County, home of the world-acclaimed Masai Mara, and the animals depicted on our coins. After launching the coins, the matter of the new generation banknotes still remains. That is, the issuance of banknotes that are consistent with the 2010 Constitution. While the Constitution provides guidance on the features and elements that may be depicted, CBK also invited the public to provide their views on the design elements. Having consulted widely, CBK considered and selected the most appropriate elements, the design features that best meet Central Bank's technical requirements, serve the public aspirations, and capture the spirit of the Constitution. Your Excellency, the Central Bank of Kenya has now completed the process of producing the new generation banknotes in accordance with the Constitution and all applicable laws. I confirm, Your Excellency, that the new generation banknotes were issued yesterday, May 31, 2019, by a Gazette notice. They are now legal tender. A few words on the new banknotes are in order. The new banknotes bear a significant aspect of our nation, and like the coins, will serve as a means of passing knowledge and conserving culture and promoting our global uniqueness. All banknotes bear the image of Kenyatta International Convention Center, one of the most iconic and recognizable landmarks in our country. The banknotes also embody each of the big five: Nyati, Chui, Kifaru, Simba, and Ndovu. Each banknote has a unique theme to show the richness of our people and nature in our beautiful Kenya. For the 50 shillings, we have green energy, 100 shillings, agriculture, 200 shillings, social services, 500 shillings, tourism, and 1,000 shillings, governance. These are the drivers of a newly reborn and prosperous Kenya. Additionally, for the first time, the new banknotes bear features that make them more accessible to the visually impaired members of our society. In the coming days, the Central Bank will roll out an awareness campaign to educate the public on the features of the new banknotes. Your Excellency, the new banknotes will circulate alongside those previously issued but not withdrawn. However, we have assessed the grave concern that our large banknotes, particularly the older 1,000 shillings series, they are being used for illicit financial flows in Kenya and also other countries in the region. Most recently, we have seen the emergence of some counterfeits. These are grave concerns that would jeopardize proper transactions and the conduct of commerce in our currency. To deal conclusively with these concerns, all the older 1,000 shilling series shall be withdrawn. By a Gazette notice dated yesterday, May 31, 2019, all persons have until October 1, 2019, to exchange those notes, after which the older 1,000 shillings banknotes will cease to be legal tender. More details about this will be provided. Finally, let me thank all Kenyans for their patience with us, their contributions in the design of these new banknotes, and their support of the central bank as we seek to discharge our mandate. The launch of the new generation banknotes at the Madaraka Day celebrations underscores that the history of the central bank is intertwined with the history of our country. Your Excellency, it's now my distinct honor and privilege, and it gives me great pleasure to request you to unveil the new generation banknotes of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency, thank you very much for that. Now we need to show you a sample of them, but it's not just a sample. It's really the first set of banknotes, series A0001. So we'll open this. In here,
Gavana wa Benki Kuu la Kenya hivi sasa anamkabidhi Mheshimiwa Rais noti zenye sura mpya. Wapi makofi wananchi watukufu? Mheshimiwa Rais ameshika 1000 noti ambayo ina sura mpya. Ameshika shilingi 500 sura mpya. Shilingi 200 yenye sura mpya. Makofi wananchi watukufu. Na shilingi 100 yenye sura mpya, na vile vile shilingi 50 yenye sura mpya.
Your Excellency, one of the things you'll notice is on the face of it, on the face of all coins, there is the image of Kenyatta International Convention Center, and on the back, one of them, the 50 shillings has green energy, features green energy. We have agriculture, as I mentioned. We have tourism, and also we have governance. The new banknotes have, on the reverse side, have images that actually show those particular features. In terms of security, we have twice as much security features on this. And one of the things you'll see on any banknote, you can touch, guza, you can feel, for instance, the numbers, and there's some, you can feel the differentiation on the paper. And also, for those of us that are visually impaired, there are some lines on the side that guide you. So each one of this. So in that sense, and one of the points that I would also mention is we were told that some of our citizens wanted smaller notes. And Your Excellency, you can actually put them in your wallet, just to demonstrate it for us. Yes, so it fits. Absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations. Now, Your Excellency, what we need to do is to give you the same bills on a block so that we can have better photos taken on it. So I'll just do that in a minute.
Tumpongeze Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kuzindua rasmi noti zenye sura mpya, na hivi sasa kwa ajili ya ishara ya picha, Mheshimiwa Rais atakabidhiwa angalau pesa ambazo ni gushi, lakini tu ni kwa picha. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Rais pamoja na gavana wa Benki Kuu wataweza kuzishika kwa njia nzuri ili tuweze kupiga picha maridadi. Tutaanza. Asante, tumpongeze Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kazi nzuri ambayo anazidi kufanya. Nitauliza Mheshimiwa gavana wa Benki Kuu akaribie, aweza shika moja. Kuna upande wa mbele ambao una ramani mbalimbali na zote zina ishara ya KICC, na upande wa nyuma kuna ramani tofauti tofauti. Asante.
Finally, Your Excellency, what we'll also do is to give you a display album with the banknotes already in it. And it will explain each one of this. So this is the next step.
Hatua ya tatu, Mheshimiwa Rais atakabidhiwa album ambayo ina zile alama zote au zile noti ambazo ni mpya, ambazo vile vile zina maandishi, ili Mheshimiwa Rais mwenyewe aweze kuzifahamu na kuzielewa anapoziangalia. Tumpongeze anapopokea album hiyo maridadi kutoka kwa Governor wa Central Bank. Asante sana. Asante. Mheshimiwa Rais anaangalia ndani kwa utaratibu na umakini ili kuweza kuona ni noti zipi ziko ndani. 1000, 500, 100, hata 50. Asante. Tumshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais kwa makofi tena. Asante.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And with your permission, I'll give a similar album to the Deputy President, which is obviously something that we have worked, all of us together. So with your permission, Your Excellency.
Kwa ruhusa ya Mheshimiwa Rais, gavana wa Benki Kuu anamkabidhi Dr. William Ruto album hiyo ili naye aweze kujifahamisha na kufahamikiana na zile idara. Tuwape makofi mabibi na mabwana.
Congratulations, my friend.
Nashukuru na niombe sasa tunapomalizia tusimame sote wima ili tuweze kujiandaa tumalizie sherehe yetu virasmi. Tuwe wima tafadhali, walio na kofia ambazo si rasmi tuweze kutoa kwa wimbo wa taifa. Asanteni sana, tumpe makofi Mheshimiwa Rais anapoondoka, na tutamsindikisha na wimbo tukiongozwa na Yellow Wagoners. Tafadhali.